Good morning. Today on TNT we have Romby Bryant. He's here to teach us how to not fumble on your insurance, on your homeowner's insurance. So we're excited to have him on TNT today, and he's going to share all these great tips with us. Thanks for coming, Romby.
Thanks for having me.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, look at the camera over here and say hello, hello.
Good morning.
So this is Romby. Romby's with us here, Romby Bryant. And Romby, you have applause. People are just really happy to see you this morning.
I'm used to that.
Yeah, you're used to that. Why are you used to that? You just walk in places and people cheer for you?
Yeah.
All right, that sounds great to me. Tell me more about that.
Well, no, I'm an professional football player. I played 3 years in the NFL, 1 year NFL Europe, and 7 years in Canada. So I'm used to getting applause here and there.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Oh, and we're getting applause in the background from Shauna. Thank you very much for that. And now that you have concluded that chapter, right? And we're moving on to the next chapter here, where you're involved with the real estate industry.
Yes, I'm in insurance. So I teach people. I went from not fumbling the football to teaching people how to not to fumble on their insurance.
Oh, yeah. All right. I like that analogy. You must work on that one.
Yeah, I work on
that. Yeah, that's scripted?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. Okay. Kind of like the
hurricanes.
Yeah.
The real ones.
All right.
That?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Yes. No, I was, that was a whole other thing. Are you talking about the Miami Hurricanes with the U?
No.
Or you're talking about real ones? No. Okay, so go ahead and tell us about the Tulsa Hurricanes.
Well, that's where I went to university at. I went to the University of Tulsa, and we're the real Hurricanes. That team in Miami is just the Hurricanes.
Do you guys have a turnover chain?
A turnover chain? Yeah, we have one now.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. Yeah. Well, the U has. I think they're on version 3.
Are they?
Yeah, version 3.0 of the turnover chain. Have you seen this year's version?
No, I have not.
It's outrageous. It's insane how impressive it is. Maybe I'll pull up the turnover chain for everybody so they can see it at home, but we're going to talk about a little bit about insurance right now. So why don't we talk about, tell us where you work right now.
I work with First United Insurance Solutions. It's a sister company with First United Bank. They own the insurance company and we're a broker. We work with several different carriers, to fit the needs of our customer. Is that it? The 305 one?
Yeah, so I'm going to pull this up here so people can see what's going on over here with the turnover chain, because that's probably really big in the real estate industry. People are like, hey, what's the turnover chain all about, Mike? So I will make sure that we show that. It's just kind of getting people hyped up. And when you hype people up, sometimes you build things up that become important. And we kind of have our version of the turnover chain here in the office. So we have a belt, and we call it the Badass Award. So we have a belt, and that's for the person that is currently doing the best. That's the champ. And the champ gets to stay the champ as long as you're on top. And it's for an indefinite period of time. And then eventually somebody comes and takes it. So Mike Shepard used to be the champ for a period of time. And then he was dethroned by Kim Miller. Kim came and took the belt from him. And now Kim has the belt and wears it around. This is Miami's version of kind of the belt. They have the turnover chain. Every time they get a turnover, they go to the bench, act like a fool, and put the turnover chain on. It's kind of a Miami thing. They kind of do that. And you played for the OG Hurricanes.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Yeah. See, they're 305. My area code is 405.
Oh, yeah. Wow. All right. Very good. Very good. All right, so let's continue to talk about some different things here. So we're talking about insurance, and I had a couple insurance-specific questions that I wanted to tee up first to be able to talk about that, and then after that, I want to talk about competing and some different things with you, right? Yeah. That were important to you. So if we're talking about insurance, one of the topics that I wanted to cover was kind of a little bit niche, but super important. If we have a property listed and we're representing the seller, right? And that property's on the market and they have traditional insurance on it, just like you normally would, everything's totally fine. Yeah. And if the property happens to sell from seller to buyer, it closes the same day and the other person moves in, there's kind of nothing to worry about. That would be a traditional real estate sale.
Yes.
However, That's not how real life happens nowadays. And a lot of things happen differently. So one of the issues that would come up would be if the person happens to move out of the property just before they end up selling the property. Maybe something comes up where they are relocating from city A to city B, and all of a sudden they vacate the property and they no longer live in that property. Okay,
Yes.
so talk about that for a moment here and what that means insurance-wise and what you hear.
So insurance, when you have a homeowner's policy, a true homeowner's policy means there has to be the homeowner has to live in the home. So in that scenario, if the person moves and leaves the home there and it's just a vacant property, then you have to have a dwelling policy. So a dwelling policy just covers the dwelling. It covers the bricks and sticks pretty much, and that's it. It doesn't cover any personal property. So if you left any personal property in there, then you need to add on several endorsements to cover the personal property that's in the home. So and sometimes the dwelling policy can be a little bit more, a little bit less, and you always want to make sure that you add RCB, replacement costs, onto the dwelling policy, because a lot of dwelling policy are ACV, actual cash value. So it's a depreciated value of what the home is really worth. So the price can drop every year if you have an ACV. So you have to be very careful and make sure that your insurance agent go over all the information with you.
All right, so we're gonna hit the button here. That was a knowledge bomb. He just came in there and just dropped a fat knowledge bomb on everybody. So I hope you guys all picked that one up. There's a lot of good phrases inside there. Now here's where I would come back in the insurance agent and I would say like, hey, all right, so let's talk about this. So you have that number for the actual, the cash value. I would argue that even in the worst case scenario, that if something super catastrophic happened to the home, it burnt down in total or it flooded in total, right? That you need to be insured for less than you really think you need to be insured for, because the land never goes anywhere. When you look at the total value of the property and the foundation is still present, there's pretty much not going to be anything unless you drop a bomb on the property, that the foundation is going to go away. So at the basis, you have like 25% of the value is kind of always going to be there. I don't know. I've had a hard time coming up with a way in which the land disappears or the foundation kind of disappears or becomes unusable due to like a natural cause, even burning.
Well, the reconstruction cost and the market value, or wherever you think the cost of to rebuild your home is totally different. So when they built this neighborhood that we're in now, they got everything wholesale. The builders got everything wholesale. Even the workers was here, working on several different things.
That's very
true.
true.
If your one home burns down, they're going to buy one garage, they're going to buy stuff for one house. So that it might cost a little bit more just for one thing rather than buying it wholesale when they was building several homes around here. So
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So a lot of times debris removal is always built into the dwelling cost too with some insurance companies. So if your home is worth $300,000, they might insure it for $330,000 just to add debris removal on to that. And sometimes that's not explained when you're talking with somebody. Well, why my home is worth $300,000, only costs $300,000. Well, we have debris removal, we have the building and ordinance, we have several things built within that cost to cover if something was to happen. So it's just not dwelling amount covered into that, it's debris removal and several other little things into that dwelling amount.
I appreciate it. I'm glad we brought him on here. So he's an athlete and he's fast, and he's also fast at picking up the insurance game, and he can handle that for you. If you have any questions at all, please call Romby. Romby's number is
405-473-4960. That's my mobile. My office line is 972-372-6848.
We're going to call you on your cell phone, so don't even worry about that. Like you went 405 and you already brought that up. That's an OG Tulsa number. Okay. So that's good. All right. So thank you for that information. We'll make sure I get all of his contact information. We'll post it in the Wikipedia page and have that available for you. Talking about a couple other niche insurance things, and then we'll get to competition. So the thing that I want everyone to make sure we understand here and we grasp is that if there's ever a time that the seller is no longer living in that property, that's the time when you need to pick up the phone and make sure that the insurance agent is called, because something different is going on there, and you probably need some type of different coverage, whether it's a dwelling coverage or if we do a lease back or a lease forward, as I call them in different cases, depending on who's living in the property. I know that's not the correct term, but when somebody is not living in the home, that's a primary insured person, there's something that needs to go on insurance-wise, and you need to call a professional so you can understand kind of what's going on there. All right, so that's the key takeaway from today. And now we need to talk about competing.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine.
All right. So competing, you grew up, and let's talk a little bit about your career and how you had to compete, because we're not athletes, but I do feel as sales professionals that we need to compete on a daily basis and train to get better so that we can perform when the moment is right.
Yes. So me growing up, why I was so good is because I competed with myself every day. I wanted to be the best version of me and not worry about what somebody else was doing, because you can't control what somebody else is doing. You can't control what the coach is going to do. You can only control what you can control. And they always told us, control the controllables, do your 111. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. And give you a prime example of that, I truly believe in my talent. A year, and when I was in the CFL, I got hurt, and my replacement came in, and this was my replacement, somebody that was going to take my job eventually, because I was older. I was on my way out the league, and this person was on my way in the league. I went and helped that guy and stayed after practice. We was there outside before practice and stayed after practice to make sure that he done his job and was ready to play the game as if I was in there or whatever. So the coaches saw that, and soon as when I got back healthy, I got my job back, because they show how much I cared about the team. So my point in saying all that is just don't worry about everything. If you're a part of a team or a family, you're here to help everybody and just control what you can control and wake up every day trying to be the best version of you. And not if you're too busy trying to worry about what John Doe is doing over there. You're not worrying about what you need to do to get the next deal. Okay. So that's how I feel about competition. I'm never in competition with John Doe at Farmers Insurance or Jake at State Farm.
Oh, all right. That's a good reference. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worrying about that. I'm worrying about what I can do to help.
Do you have khakis on?
No, I got
all right, blues. All right, Lululemons. Wow. High fashion here up in the house. Nice job. I appreciate that. I walk in that store and I get afraid. And I get afraid because my wife walks in with me and I'm like, uh-oh, we got a problem here.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't care about what the other agents are doing, because I know I'm capable of doing. And it's all about, in this business, all about relationships. Okay. It really is. And if you're genuine and people see that you really care and you're not trying to sell them, then they more than likely, because like you told me, people do business. When we first met, I think you said this, people do business with people they know, like, and trust at the end of the day. You told me about one of your friends, and I was like, I respect that. If opportunities ever comes up, I'm here. I'm not pushy. I'm not trying to push myself on anybody. I'm just here to be a resource if you need me. And if we can develop a relationship doing that, so be it. Yeah, well, I happen to mention Kyle Dilworth with Goosehead Insurance. If you need anything, give Kyle a call. No, so I brought that up, and I was just very upfront, right? I'm like, hey, I have an insurance guy that we know that's kind of our guy, but there's all different type scenarios in which that happens. So we'll invite you to Bro Lunch here on the next Friday, and you can meet Kyle in person. We'll talk about that off air, what we kind of do at Bro Lunch, and you can meet Kyle, and then maybe there's some different places in which he has different things that he can't handle, that he can hand off. So I'll make sure we make that introduction to you to help you out there and care about you and your career. So tell us more about, did you like the NFL or do you like the CFL? I like the NFL pay a lot more. Okay. But the CFL, I was an all-star up there. I've been to the Grey Cup. I started every year. I was up there just about. So I like the CFL more because I played a lot more and I have a bigger name up there. However, I wish I would have made a bigger name for myself in the NFL. But, it is what it is. Yeah, and we were talking about this, and I asked you, the position you play and which player you were most similar to. Yeah. Right? That's on the Cowboys.
So tell us the position on the field where you played and what you were.
Yeah, well, I played receiver, and if I had to compare myself to someone that plays with the Cowboys now, I think their fastest receiver would be Cooper. So I would probably say I'm more like Amari Cooper.
Wow.
I'm the speedster. I think he's the fastest. I know Harold and Cobb are not.
Michael Gallup, the guy that plays Gallup. He plays on the right side. He's younger.
Yeah.
So Gallup. So
he takes the tops off. Whoever takes the top off the cover, that's
Cooper.
me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Cooper is going to be he's your classic number one.
Yeah.
The number two over on the right side.
Yeah.
That's going to just be running like fly routes.
Well,
so he's going to be taking the top off.
See,
that's going to be Michael Gallup.
Cooper's fastest.
Cooper's fast. He's a first round draft pick, so he's going to be really, really quick.
Yeah.
But currently, the guy that was playing that position now, because Michael Gallup's out playing this week for the Cowboys, was Devin Smith. Yeah. Number 15 in your book, number 1 in your heart if you're Amy Acquisto, or Amy Gasparini now, my sister, is the real estate agent for Devin Smith, who took Shauna's client's position from last year. Sorry, T. Will. Those types of things happen from time to time. So that's your position. So you guys all kind of played that same type of position.
Yeah. So is Devin Smith number 15?
Yeah.
I think we worked out at the same gym. Essos.
Yeah.
At the Field House. Well, a lot of professional players go there.
T-Will.
Mm-hmm.
No, T-Will?
He was there.
Oh yeah. So I work out at Essos.
Okay.
Yeah. So I go there, and I knew a lot of players went there. I never got names or whatever, but yeah, we work out at the same gym.
Huh.
So current and former players go work out at Essos.
Awesome.
Yeah, you have to stay in shape.
Yeah.
Like they say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right?
Oh, I love
Wow,
that.
that's a good quote. That's a very good quote.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to write some of the things. And you were so fast because
because I trained.
Because you trained.
Yeah, because I trained. I trained every day. Football wasn't just 3 to 4 months out the year. It's 365 days. You have to train every day. You have to be doing something. If you're not physically training, you have to eat right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to take care of your body, because this is our machine. This is what gets us paid, is our body. And if it's in real estate, it's knowledge. Knowledge and the 6 inches between your ears is what gets you paid. So you have to take care of that.
Yeah, I can't imagine how difficult it is. I think about that often with the athletes, that every season you line up and it's you versus somebody else, right? And or many people for that one position, but you have to win that position.
Yeah.
Just the same way that we have to earn our client trust every single time that we go out there and we compete. So I can't imagine how many times in your life, all the way from like middle school up through high school, through college, that you were winning every single time. You know what I mean? How many times do you think you went up against different people? You could probably remember all the names of the kids, as you're growing up, you know what I mean? But like all of a sudden, it's like, I beat that guy, and then you start, right?
Yeah, but you lose a lot too.
Okay.
I mean, you lose a lot. I done lost a lot. I done lost a lot of races being fast. I done lost a lot of one-on-one matches. It's all about being consistent. And that's what people care about. If you're consistent, and it's all like in real estate, it's all about the follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're only calling the client once, and then that's the only time they hear from you, and the other agents call them 5 different times, following up with them, who you think gonna win?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is about being on the football field. It's all about being consistent. You lose this one time, but I done won 9 out of 10 times, or whatever the case may be, or 7 out of 10 times, because you don't catch everything. baseball is the best analogy. The batting average was 300, 400 at that. Mm-hmm. So that means they missing 70 to 60% of the time.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna win every time, but it's all about being as consistent as you can be.
Yeah. Follow up, follow through, and follow back. I believe that is Ryan Sarahant. That is tip number 6 in how to be a great real estate agent. So if you watch that video on Friday that I sent over, there's a plug for that. And here's somebody dropping the same type of knowledge on you from a totally different perspective on how important follow up, follow through, follow back.
I like that.
All right, so I'll send you that link to that video. Just like something little there with Ryan. He's kind of funny, quirky, and also happens to drop some knowledge. It's actually pretty good. So hope you guys enjoyed that here today.